Believe it or not, we're already a third of the way through the high school football season. Week 3 saw us renew some old rivalries and put a lot of points on the board. High-scoring football going on tonight, and we've got all these highlights and all this excitement to bring you coming up on 13 on Your Sidelines.
13 on Your Sidelines, sponsored by Rant Insurance Group.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to this Week 3 edition of 13 on Your Sidelines. I'm Jamal Spencer.
And I'm Mark Skoll Jr. As always, we are ready to bring you West Michigan's best high school football highlights, but first we have some business to take care of.
That'd be the polite thing to do, so please welcome our friends and distinguished guests to the studio. First, it's the cheer team from Grand Rapids Christian. And all the way from Oceana County, it's the cheer team from Hart.
Thank you guys for making the trip. Between the years 2000 and 2010, East Grand Rapids versus Lowell was must-see TV here on 13 on Your Sidelines. And in the last decade, the teams have still been respectable, but gone are the days when you can count on both to put up double digits in the win column.
They used to be perennial powers. Maybe this is the year they'll return to glory. The Red Arrows and Pioneers are both 2-0, and East scored the upset over the defending state champs from South Christian last week. This OK White rivalry was a no-brainer for our 13 on Your Sidelines game of the week. Let's take you out to Memorial Field for the 55th meeting of these two programs. Midway through the first, Pioneers' Carson Thornton drops back, launches the ball down the right side, dropping it perfectly into the arms of Tommy Cavanaugh for the big gain. That would lead to a 4-yard run around the corner for Ian McKeegan and a 7-0 East Grand Rapids lead. Next drive, Pioneers will get tricky. Too tricky for our cameraman, who misses the reverse handoff around to Isaac Mulder, who goes down the right sideline for a gain of 50 yards. That set the Pioneers' second score up on a 14-yard pass from Scotty Millman to Cavanaugh, and that's a 14-0 EGR lead. The Pioneers' big first half would continue. This time, Millman keeps it up the gut before breaking it to the sideline, keeps his balance before stumbling inside the 5 for the 20-yard run. He would score a few plays later. That would give EGR a 21-0 lead. They're all over this game. Lowell would get on the board late on the last play of the first half. Jackson Riesbig scrambling around, buying all sorts of time like Patrick Mahomes before floating a pass to the end zone. Xavier Young hauls it in to make it 21-7 at the half. But the Pioneer offense kept rolling in the second half. Millman goes around right in. This is perfectly blocked. He finds open space, 25-yard score, 28-7 lead. The Pioneers would put it away on Millman's third touchdown run of the night. Potential MVP candidate there. East rose 42-14.
Offensively, we were able to play in multiple personnel groupings and never doing the same thing twice. And we play a ton of kids on offense at all positions. I mean, you guys see we play 2 quarterbacks in and out like crazy. And I just think we had them out of wax and off balance the whole game. And then our defense has been the core of our group all year, and our special teams were phenomenal.
Great win, great conference win, and 3-0 start against these teams is huge. Big confidence builder, and just shows where we're at year 2 in this Coach Shattuck program.
Two very proud programs, as we said in the intro, working their way back to what they once were, which were 2 teams competing for state championships every year. Coming into this one, they both said they were obviously trying to, execute. They said all the right things, but EGR put it into action.
Yep, 3-0 now for Josh Shattuck in year 2 at East Grand Rapids, and he's been a phenomenal coach so far. He was great in Indiana. Now he's doing it in West Michigan, and wow, you got to be impressed by how the Pioneers have played, and I'm really impressed with head coach Josh Shattuck. He tore his ACL, blew out his knee 3 weeks before the season started, and now his team is 3-0, I think, and he's not going to get surgery until after the season because he wants to be at his best for when EGR is hopefully making the trip to Ford Field. But wow, you got to be impressed by how EGR is playing. Obviously, Lowell had a great season so far too, and they're going to keep rolling too.
They get that toughness from their coach, you can tell. For game 2, we stay in the OK White, where there was another battle between 2-0 teams this week.
Byron Center is coming off of a game of the week win over East Kentwood, and Forest Hills Northern hasn't given up a single point all year. Waddell Field hosted this canine confrontation between the Bulldogs and the Huskies. It's the Bite Cancer game. First drive of the game for BC. Luke Laska says hasta la vista. He leaves a few FHN defenders in his dust. 54 yards to pay dirt. Bulldogs lead 7-0. Still in the quarter, Logan Hertzstein on the keeper now for FHN, and the ball is poked out. And guess who falls on it? Luke Laska again. Byron Center ball, the junior, showing out early. Second quarter now, Bulldogs face 4th and 9. They decide to go for it. Alex Wabin finds Isaac Lee, who brings it down. First down, Byron Center. Few plays later, the Wabin-Lee connection comes front and center again. Someone's got to call the restaurant. Lee has got reservations for 6. The 31-yard touchdown doubles the lead. Bulldogs go up 14-0, but the Huskies, they have no quit in them. Logan Hertzstein is going to look deep for his deep target, Andrew Fox. And Foxy showing off the moxie. That's a 52-yard pitch and catch for the score. FHN is back in it. It's 14-7. Byron Center gets the ball back. They face 4th down again, but this time the Huskies get in the backfield for the big stop. That's Beck Dahlquist making the play. However, it's Byron Center who gets the last laugh with a 35-7 victory. The Bulldogs are now 3-0.
Obviously, the scoring happens after you leave, no doubt.
Yep.
But, that's a learning lesson from Forest Hills Northern and a dominant finish for Byron Center. Maybe no school had a better offensive start last year than West Catholic.
The Falcons have beaten Edwardsburg and Union by a combined score of 119-33.
But Coopersville had 2 blowout wins of their own. Nate Belt was there tonight as the 2 squared off.
Yeah, guys, West Catholic has won every meeting between these teams except for one. Now the Broncos coming into Military Appreciation Night, hoping to change all that as they hosted the Falcons. First drive for Coopersville, Bo Harris finds Isaac Lemieux, who makes a nice grab over the middle. Nice concentration there. Falcons can't find the end zone, though, so the ball now going to West Cat. Broncos can't find the end zone. Falcons now have the ball. There we go. Head coach Landon Grove doing his best Dan Campbell impression. Fake punt keeps the drive alive. Very next play, Alec Wickstrom is going to air it out to Cole Bauer for the diving grab. And West Catholic right on top. Ice Spice fans in the house tonight. Broncos looking to answer back, and they have success through the air. Nice adjustment by Zach Quigley to haul in that one. A couple plays later, Bo Harris again. He's going to find Luke Stanton. Looks like he's just throwing the exact same ball over and over again, and it works. High points that thing. Gets into the end zone, and it's tied, but it won't stay tied for long. Broncos back in the red zone in the second quarter now. Lemieux diving in for 6. Coopersville looking strong. They're up 14-7, and now it's the defense's turn. Olszewski coughs it up on the end around, and Stanton recovers for the Broncos offense, getting in field goal range with 1 second left in the half, but that's going to come up short, and that's going to be the difference. West Catholic going to tie it up and then make a field goal as time expired in the second half. The Falcons escape 17-14. Unity Christian started the season with a 3-game road trip, and it ended tonight in Spring Lake where the Crusaders took on the undefeated Lakers. Third quarter, Spring Lake's up 20-14. Ren Depphaus takes the pitch here for the big run to get the Lakers into scoring position. Next play, quarterback Reed Grimmer says, I'm going to do it myself. Makes a couple guys miss. Nice little hezzy there. Scores from 30 yards out, and the Lakers' lead is up to 13. It's 27-14. Crusaders going to work the ground game too now. Quarterback James Carroll taking it outside, and Unity is in business. They're inside the 5-yard line. Next play, Max Vancouver and going to finish it off right up the middle. It is back to a 6-point game in the fourth quarter. Spring Lake now looking to add back to it. Grimmer launches it deep on this one. But oh no, it's the wrong guy. Vancouvering's going to come down with it. Wait, see that laundry on the field though. Ref is going to say he pushed off. That is pass interference. Spring Lake going to keep the drive alive, and the cameraman here has no idea where the man with the ball is. There he is. Depphaus again on the end around. It's 34-21 Lakers, but the Crusaders not quite done yet. Carroll hits Hugo Vanderwall to back the end zone. Suddenly, 6-point game once again with just under 2 minutes to go. Unity, about the best onside kick you could get, but they're going to come up just short. Spring Lake holding on for the victory. They stormed the field in this one, having a lot of fun. 34-28.
Thanks, Nate. Nothing says patriotic like Ice Spice. The rivalry between Mona Shores and Reeds Puffer has been a bit one-sided over the last decade.
But the Rockets are cruising into Sailor Stadium tonight with a lot of confidence, so how would this year's class shake out?
And speaking of confidence, Hudsonville is riding high at 2-0. Up next, they host East Kentwood.
Hi, I'm pro quarterback Kirk Cousins from Holland Christian, and you're watching 13 on Your Sidelines.